Interruption, but I'm Mike Wilbon. Valentine's Day's tomorrow, Tone. Have you made romantic plans?
I'm Tony Kornheiser, and I'm trying, but the neighbors, they won't text me back.
Ooh, oh wow.
Yeah.
70s commune situation. Huh?
Right, Bob and
Carol
and
Alice.
Alice. Yeah, do you remember that movie?
Yes, which means we have now skewed
100.
so old.
Right. So Elliot Gould was in that movie, if I'm not mistaken, right? I think he was in that movie.
I don't know who else was in there, but Elliot.
No, it's a long time ago.
At least
long time ago.
Probably 50 years. Close to 50.
Oh, no, it's 50. Oh, it's definitely
Early
50.
70s.
Welcome to PTI, boys and girls. In today's episode, the Red Sox land Alex Bregman, the unbeaten UCLA women face USC, and PK Subban joins us to explain the four nations face-off. But we begin today with the NBA and a trio of teams that have either been strengthened or strafed by recent trades. The Lakers with Luka Doncic and LeBron James playing 18 minutes together were beaten by 12 points in Utah by the lowly Jazz, who scored 131. The Mavericks won at home over Golden State. Jimmy Butler, new addition, got 21 points.
Great.
But Kyrie Irving doubled that with 42. Yeah. Well, then I know you stayed up to watch. Which result is more inconvenient to our latest narratives?
The Lakers getting pounded. The Mavs Warriors game, as I texted you in live time, was spectacular. And you know me, I like when you come back from the break and you got 28 games left. That's real basketball. Yeah. But these two teams, Tony, they're desperate already, the Mavs and Warriors. So they have to play. They got to play now. I mean, they either or both could miss the play-in by a game. And they're going to look back and say, oh, my God. So they can't wait for next week. But the Lakers got pounded inside by a team that's not a team. All right? They got crushed. I think the scoring was something like 56-35 in terms of points in the paint. Utah just went inside and said, you two can be as great as you want with the ball. You got to guard somebody. And they couldn't guard Utah in the paint. So that's a blueprint. Yeah. And they said it. So now every team with any size, Dallas, if they ever get their people back, they could actually do that in a series, Tony. That can be sustainable.
I agree with you completely that what hurts our narrative is the Lakers losing. Because the Lakers had won 6 in a row. The Lakers had beaten Utah in L.A. on Monday night, right? Yeah. They're not supposed to lose to Utah, and they're not supposed to give up 131 points. But it's Luka's second game with the team. He's still on minutes restrictions. Let me get his minutes. He only played 23 minutes, and afterwards he said he was tired. So I'm going to give them a pass. And I'm going to tell you that the other game completely fit my narrative, as you know. Because I told you that I thought in the near term, Dallas could be a very good team. Yep. And I told you that Jimmy Butler, he doesn't make Golden State world beaters. He makes them better, but they're not a particularly good team. Was I surprised that Dallas won without Anthony Davis? Stunned. I was stunned.
Without any big.
I was stunned. But again, when Anthony Davis gets back, Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, Klay Thompson, they all have rings. I think that's a meaningful thing. I think they can be a pretty good team even without Luka. I would say one other thing to you. Last night I looked at box scores. Yeah. Like 8 different teams went 130 or over, and 2 went 140. It was like the All-Star game. It was like the All-Star game.
Oh, wait. Yeah. Those need to replace whatever they're trotting out fraudulently as the All-Star game. Let's move to baseball, where Alex Bregman has chosen his new home. The longtime Astro third baseman picked the Red Sox over the Tigers and my Cubbies, agreeing to a 3-year deal worth $120 million. And he's got outs after each season. Boston hadn't signed anyone big in years, and Jose Altuve stumped openly for the Astros to keep Bregman. Yeah. So, Tony, do you see this as more meaningful in what it adds to the Sox or subtracts from the Astros?
Can I say both? Because both things are true. The Red Sox haven't been an important team since they traded Mookie Betts. They haven't spent any money. I think they made the playoffs once in the last 5 years. The Yankees and the Orioles left them in the dust. They're getting a guy who is an all-star third baseman who goes to Fenway and hits. Listen to these numbers. When he was with the Astros, he played in Fenway 21 games, batted .375, 16 extra base hits, 15 RBI, and at 31 should still be in his prime.
His numbers are not great for a guy you're going to pay $40 million even for 1 year, even if he opts out.
I don't think that the money is why you sign him or don't sign him. The thing is, he's also a core guy for Houston. There's him and Altuve. They are the core guys. You might say Verlander, but Verlander's left also. He went to the Giants. These two guys, when the flack was raining down after the cheating scandal, they stood there, they took the hits, they took the insults, they took the boos. Other guys left, right? So George Springer, he left. Carlos Correa, he left. Yuri Gurriel, he left. And Bregman and Altuve, they toughed it out.
Bregman,
they toughed it out.
They love him in that locker clubhouse. Tony, I get it.
He's a pillar to that franchise.
Okay.
So when he leaves, it's going to be more than just his numbers, and his numbers were good.
His numbers are good, not great. But Houston
191 homers.
Cranks out prospects. Now I know the Red Sox right now are listed, if you care about these things, as having the #1 farm system
I didn't know that.
in baseball. And one of those guys must be a second baseman, which the Red Sox didn't have. And they're talking about Bregman moving over to second base if that, because Devers is not their ideal third baseman anymore, not great a field. Okay, fine, all that. The Astros crank out prospects. They do. They'll find a replacement.
Yes.
They replace everybody.
Yes.
You just mentioned terrific players who were there to win, and Astros sort of keep going, and they don't have them anymore. So I think this is about additive quality in Boston. I think the Astros keep marching because they know who they got in their farm system.
I have reached the point where I no longer want to see the people who played on the Astros team pilloried. I think they paid a price. Yeah. I think they paid a price. I was sort of happy to see A.J. Hinch manage the Tigers into the playoffs, and I'll be happy if Bregman and Cora, if they make the playoffs this year. I'll be happy with that. Let's move to women's college basketball tonight, but not our usual women's teams, USC and Connecticut. They play on Sunday. Tonight we have a traditional Big Ten rivalry, Wilbon, your conference, UCLA and USC.
Say it again.
UCLA is unbeaten and ranked #1. USC has just 2 losses, ranked #6. I know you will watch this game.
Yes, I will.
Are you smelling upset?
There's no upset. There's no favorites. They're even. They're even teams. They're playing in Los Angeles. The first game they're playing is at SC. I'm often in the wintertime in Los Angeles. I sort of wish I was there tonight because this is a game I want to go and see in person. This is a big-time game with these two teams. There's no upset. I understand that UCLA is undefeated. You know who I'm rooting for. With a family-like star guard, Kiki Rice, on that team, I'm rooting for UCLA. But if USC wins at home, it's going to be an upset? No, it's not going to be an upset. It's good. I hope it's just a great game that lives up to the billing of these two teams and their positioning. And it's been a while since they were both really, really great at the same time.
Were they ever really great at the same time? Was UCLA really great? Because USC had Cheryl Miller. Cheryl Miller had back-to-back championships with the McGees.
Yeah.
Was UCLA that good?
No, they were better when Andy Myers was there a few years before that.
Okay, all right. So my position on this is I concede I don't know much about these particular teams. I tend to be a South Carolina, UConn guy. But I did watch USC about 10 or 12 days ago. I watched them lose at Iowa. Caitlin Clark not on the team, but in the gym. And I was a little surprised because Juju Watkins, I thought, had inherited that mantle as the best player in women's college basketball. She had a rough night, 8 for 22, 1 for 7 from 3. All I know about UCLA is Kiki Rice. I know the name because she played here in Washington, D.C. at Sidwell Friends, which is the alma mater of Neville and the socialite. I mentioned that out loud.
And Josh.
But you got to forgive me this. When I think of UCLA basketball, I think of Alcindor, I think of Walton, I think of Wooden, I think of Longstreaks.
Wouldn't you love to be there when they run it back at Pauley Pavilion?
Yeah.
And they're in those blue uniforms?
Yeah.
That doesn't change. That doesn't. So, yes, I'm going to watch this. I may have to have a clicker. It may be a clicker night.
But you're denying there's an upset.
There's no upset. Okay. How can you call USC winning at home with Juju Watkins, who some people believe legitimately is the best player in the game?
Just said that.
Okay, but so why would it be an upset?
Okay.
Why would it be an upset if they win?
So you're not smelling upset?
There's no upset.
I'm pushing.
There's no upset.
Let's take a break. Coming up, should the U.S. team be favored in the Four Nations face-off? Not face-off, face-off. We will ask PK Subban.
We're also going to ask him why players seem to compete so much harder in this event than in those standard All-Star games.
Because of what they have on their jersey?
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Well, one of us recommended this for another league for years.
That's right.
On this platform.
That's right.
Years.
That shows you how influential you are.
No influence whatsoever.
Zero.
You know what's better than one Papa John's pizza?
The NHL's Four Nations face-off continues tonight, which makes it a perfect time to welcome back our great friend, the man who calls me corny, my hockey nickname, ESPN hockey analyst PK Subban.
Too long.
Let's start with this. Canada beat Sweden in last night's opener, and afterwards you tweeted, I'm quoting, What a game. What exactly did you love about it?
It was the Sidney Crosby show. I mean, at 37 years old, he showed not only Canada, not only the players in the National Hockey League, but everybody across the world that he's still, if not the best player, he's right there with Connor McDavid.
Wow.
And he's 37 years old. You know, it's funny. When Team Canada was selecting the team, the first names that you heard were obviously they talked about Crosby, but it quickly shifted to McDavid, McKinnon, and Makar. You know, it's easy to see those three are right now and for the future of Team Canada. But these guys, those three guys that are pegged to lead this team, got a front row seat to the guy that they've been following their whole lives. I can speak for all Canadians on Sidney Crosby. Every single player on that team is a fan of this guy, grew up watching him, idolizing him, and trying to pattern themselves after him both on and off the ice. So these guys got a front row seat to what his greatness truly is at 37 years old, and it was on full display. Hats off to the player, Sidney Crosby, but it was an amazing, amazing game last night.
Wow. It's an endorsement right there.
Yeah.
It leads me to ask you if greatness, do we have greatness in the United States right now with this team? PK, there are some people who think the U.S. team could be the best of the four. I don't know about that. How do you feel about it, and how good is Team USA?
I feel the same. I do. I do believe that they can compete and win this thing. Make no doubt about it. The USA can win this tournament. There's no question. And I don't think it's just Canada's tournament to win. I think that you got to be careful of Finland. You got to be careful of every team in here. And we were speaking about it earlier. It's only 4 nations, but all 4 countries are capable of winning this thing. That's what makes it great. That's what best on best is. So best on best isn't just having 1 or 2 countries that are elite. You got to have, everybody's got to be elite. And you saw that yesterday. Sweden came back from 2-goal deficits 2 times in that game to tie it up and send it in overtime, almost won it. So for Team USA, with their young talent, Jack Hughes, Brady Tkachuk, Matthew Tkachuk, this is not a USA team with just skill. This is a team that plays a skilled game and a North American style game. They got the physicality. They understand the defensive concepts. They know that when the games get tough, that you got to get tough too. And that's what I think. That's why when I look at Team USA, it's that, hey, we got to watch out for this team here because it's all about experience in this tournament now. How quickly can you get wise? How quickly can you manage the puck, manage the game? A lot of new line mates, a lot of new teammates, but this is best on best, and the best got to figure it out in a short period of time. Team USA has an opportunity tonight to take a stranglehold on this tournament. Ooh. Canada didn't win in regulation. They get 2 points. Team USA beats Finland in regulation tonight. They get 3 points. They're first place in this tournament, and you don't want to be going into those games against Sweden, against Canada, and be down. You don't want to have to be scratching for points. It's a short tournament. They got to take care of business tonight.
Short tournament, but a popular tournament already, PK. The players seem to love it. First of all, whose idea was this? The NBA needs to follow suit very quickly after the tone that the NHL has set with this to replace its All-Star game. Why do the players love it so much?
Well, let's call it what it is. The person that sets the tone is Gary Bettman. He's the guy that's made a lot of these decisions in terms of expansion. He's taken a lot of, and some people might see it as risk, but how can you see it as risk? Look at Vegas. Look at these teams that have come into the league. Look at where the game is now. And it seems that for a long time, it seemed that, okay, what's the NHL going to do to grow the game? Now it seems like everything we do, it's like a home run. You know, everything that we've done over the past 3 seasons since I've been retired, because I've been paying a close attention to the business side, hats off to the NHL and what they've done. The players should be excited about it. I mean, the proof is, what did the play look like last night? Was there hitting? Was there physicality? Shea Theodore's out of the tournament. That didn't happen from him falling over by accident. These guys are playing for real. So it's not just Gary. It trickles down from him into these teams and the culture of hockey. And the culture for us, the standard is, when you put that jersey on, whether it's an original 6 jersey in the NHL or it's your country's jersey, you can't play hockey going through the motions, guys. Like you can't go out there and go through the motions. You got to play with pride. You got to leave it all on the ice. And when you put that country's jersey on, guys, buckle up. Showtime, prime time, on time. It doesn't matter. Guys are leaving it all on the ice. You got your family watching, your parents at home, everybody that's worked so hard to give you this opportunity. And for a lot of these guys, this is their first time putting on the jersey. Listen, next year's the Olympics, right? We got the World Cup in 2028. So for a lot of these guys, they want an opportunity to do it again. And who doesn't?
He's so excited. That's fabulous. He's
I'm
so excited.
fired up. Guys, I'm fired up for this thing. I've been waiting
PK.
all season.
Thank you.
PK,
Great to have you.
man.
So,
Thank
wow. You can catch PK on the point tonight at 7 Eastern, followed by the U.S. and Finland at 8. Let's take one last break. Still to come, the Jets make an official announcement on Aaron Rodgers.
Please. Are we really
Yeah.
more Aaron Rodgers?
He's going to play for Team USA.
Tristan Thompson draws the Raptors' ire with a very late dunk in a blowout. I'm going to watch now. I'm going to watch U.S. Finland.
PK tremendously excited.
I don't know that I was going to watch.
Tonight on Sports.
Happy time, people. Happy 45th birthday, Drew Henson. As time goes by, Henson becomes more valuable as a trivia answer. Who's the guy who forced Tom Brady into a part-time role as quarterback at Michigan? Henson and Brady were teammates there for 2 years. In 1999, there were games where Henson and Brady split the first 2 quarters, then waited for Lloyd Carr to choose who would play the second half. Henson was also a baseball player, and after his junior year, when Brady had already gone to the NFL, Henson signed a 6-year, $17 million contract with the Yankees as a third baseman. Ultimately, Henson only played 8 major league games. He went back to football and played 9 games as a quarterback for Dallas and Detroit.
You know, it's not many games. He played both
Played
at
them
that
both.
level, which
both.
used to happen much, much more. But adults in a supervisory way and the AAU have killed that. When you have to play one sport now, you can't even discover who might be great at multiple sports, Dion.
It is so impressive to play major league level.
At both. At
It
multiple
really is.
sports.
Happy anniversary, Cooper Kupp. On this day 3 years ago, the former third-round pick out of Eastern Washington was named Super Bowl MVP for his 11 receptions, 142 yards, and 2 touchdowns in the Rams' victory over Cincinnati. Kupp's 33 receptions in 4 playoff games set an NFL record for a single postseason, and his 478 yards and 6 touchdowns ranks second only to your boy Larry Fitzgerald. Now Kupp's time with the Rams is apparently ending. He wants to stay, but the Rams want to move on. Still, Kupp is doing off-season workouts with teammate receiver Puka Nacua, pushing so hard that Nacua literally throws up.
Wow.
Maybe Kupp can start calling him Puka Nacua.
I can think of a place that'd be a nice landing spot for Kupp.
Does it begin with the word Chicago?
Yes, because
how would I know?
It's Keenan Allen, who's a free agent, who I want to re-sign and keep.
Yeah.
But if he's not going to do that, if we could get Kupp and put him out there with Adunze and DJ Moore and Caleb Williams,
it's actually
I'd be pretty happy.
Happy trails to last night's game for the Raptors. Toronto was down 21 with seconds remaining when Cleveland's Tristan Thompson decided that instead of dribbling out the clock, he would throw down an unopposed dunk. Boos ensued, and eventually so did a small scuffle. After the game, Raptors head coach Darko Radakovic called the dunk, and I'm quoting here, no class and disrespectful, unquote. But Thompson tweeted back today, again a quote, if you want a full court press with under a minute left in the game when you get cracked by 30, this will happen to you.
Boom.
Lose for the draft lottery and be happy, buddy boy, unquote. Fantastic.
A short list of guys who are in the NBA today, or you can go professional basketball worldwide. You want to sit at the bar and have a drink with Tristan Thompson, way up on the list.
Should he have dunked? Should he have dunked?
If they're going to press.
Up 21?
Then don't press. Let the game run out. You've been beaten soundly. Go home now. Take your loss, buddy boy. No, I'm with Tristan Thompson on this.
You're with Tristan Thompson because you like Tristan Thompson.
I love him.
That's why you're with him. Let me just say this.
Don't press.
Let me say this.
What?
We just talked about people playing baseball and football on Major League level. Let's go to baseball. Do you know what would happen to Tristan Thompson the first at bat in the next game?
Yeah, I do.
He would go down in a heap because this. Oh,
but beef is okay.
21.
But legitimate beef.
And he called the coach buddy boy. He's just so dismissive.
You think he's going to press down 21 again? Think he's likely to do that? Or message received?
I don't think you dunk. I think you dribble it out, Mike.
Don't press me.
I think you dribble it out.
I would say don't press me.
Wow.
Have some of that.
I think you dribble it out.
Boom.
I think you dribble it out. All right, let's go to the big finish.
Let's
You
do
ready?
it.
The rematch of last year's All-Star three-point contest between Steph Curry and Sabrina Ionescu is off. You're disappointed, aren't you?
Yes. All these reasons I don't understand stated about how they couldn't get it together and this didn't go and that didn't. What? This better not be an Under Armour Nike thing, beef. It better not be. The Jets officially announced they won't be bringing back Aaron Rodgers. Wish them success. Your thoughts?
He'll probably land a starting job somewhere. The 2 years with the Jets were an unmitigated disaster. Villanova ended St. John's 10-game win streak. You surprised?
Not really. Villanova needed to win. I don't know if they're on the bubble. I don't know if they're last four in, first four. I don't know where they are, but they needed that win. Dodgers are officially bringing back your boy Clayton Kershaw. 1 year, 7.5. Makes sense?
He's one of the all-time great Dodger pitchers,
Yes,
and you give him this final bouquet.
Yes.
You don't let him go somewhere. You give him the bouquet. Last one, Jamal Murray had a career-high 55 last night. You impressed?
Yeah. I mean, the Nuggets needed Jamal Murray to become Jamal Murray again for their championship team. Yes, I'm impressed.
We're out of time. We will try and do better the next time, and I'm Tony Kornheiser. In studio, kids. This is not AI.
I'm Mike Wilbon. How do we know? Same time tomorrow, Knuckleheads. You can get the podcast on the app or Apple Podcast. You know who I blame for the Aaron Rodgers story being so overrated all year?
Who?
Stephen A. and Greeny.
Greeny
and Stephen. It's their fault.
It's their fault.
It's their fault. Not on this show. But I lead with Aaron Rodgers on this show.
Talking about what was a really fun night of exhibition.
That's how I got to work on a sled.
All right, Wilbon, are you excited for Finland, USA in the Four Nations face-off tonight?
I actually am, Tony, and I'm going to admit a large part of that comes from our conversation with PK Subban earlier today.
He's geeked.
He's geeked. And part of the reason he's geeked, though, is that the players are so into this. And he cites Sidney Crosby, of course, being maybe the most important player in the league, being excited, and everybody following his lead. So, yes, so it is a clicker night. It's a disaster for you. Things don't start really until 8 p.m. Eastern. U.S.-Finland on this fine network. And then, Tony, you got Thunder and T-Wolves on tournament. I can watch Warriors and Rockets. And then at 10 Eastern, you're 2 hours
I'm done. I'm asleep.
USC, UCLA women on Peacock. And then you can get Texas and Kentucky if you're not streaming Peacock. There's a lot of stuff on tonight. It's a multiple screen night.
That's the whole thing. You need to tell people that you have 3 televisions.
Everybody has 3.
No, I have 1.
Or 4.
I have 1 TV.
Because you're in 1958.
Yeah.
You and Edward R. Murrow.
What
are you doing?
I have 1 TV.
Why?
And then I'm asleep anyway, so it doesn't matter. I would like to see some of this game.
You can get through one period.
It is based exactly on what you said, that PK Subban on our show earlier was totally geeked to watch this and loved last night's game. And I think we both agree on this. I want this to work because the All-Star game in the NHL stinks. The All-Star game in the NBA stinks
more.
The All-Star game in pro football was so bad,
got rid of it.
They just got rid of it.
Get out.
So if you can find something that involves your players and involves your fans, you have something going forward to look forward to. That's a really good thing.
You notice I'm sitting here today and not in San Francisco where NBA All-Star Weekend is?
Yeah.
All-Star Weekend I still love. The All-Star game is dreck.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to go if I care more than they care. The players don't want to play it. So the NHL has done a great thing here.
We'll see.
In trying to find something, probing, to see, okay, can we put together something that is worthy of All-Star Weekend or whatever you want to call it?
Agreed.
So good for them. That's it. We're done. Back to you.